Hi everyone, forgive the appearance. Today I thought I would review the Freedom Black Swan makeup kit. I saw these come out online a couple of weeks ago and I went into my Superdrug today local to me and thought I would pick one up as there was some left. I've heard they've been quite difficult to get hold of, but the Superdrug near me had absolutely loads left. So it's the Freedom Black Swan makeup kit. It says all you need in one pro kit to basically create this look. So what I thought I'd do is try it and just see how easy it is to create and give you a little review of all the products as I've used them all. Now, it doesn't come with any instructions, but what you do get is white foundation. This is the Ghost Whitener SFX. You get a gel eyeliner in black in this size pot, which is a pretty good size pot. You get a liquid eyeliner in white, little mini one like this. You get a liquid lipstick in black, which is full size, and you get, if I can find it, under my knee, a quad eyeshadow with these 4 colours in. All of that for £8, absolute bargain, that goes without saying. What it does say on the back here is that you can head to Freedom Makeup YouTube channel for a full tutorial, and it gives you the website for their YouTube channel, which I've already was a subscriber to, but I cannot on that site anywhere on their page find a tutorial for this. So things may have changed by the time I upload this, but as it stands, it's the 14th of October today. I can't find a tutorial. However, on Superdrug's website, they do have a link to their YouTube channel where they've done a tutorial. They don't say they're using these products, but they pretty much are as far as I can tell, and they're not using all of the products. So I've kind of done a version of that. And that's what I use as a guide, because I'm not sure how well I would have done without the tutorial. As it stands, I'm not hugely happy with how this looks, but you know, that's part of the point of this review, to tell you how easy it is to do for someone who is not in any way, shape or form a professional. So, if we start with the Ghost Whitener, I use this all over my face. I left my eyes bare and a little stripe here of my skin bare so that I could put the black on afterwards. This I found quite difficult to work with, I'm honest. It's definitely white, it's definitely quite thick, it's definitely more of a face paint formula rather than a foundation formula. I think I would have found it much easier to work with if it were more like a foundation formula. That being said, I don't know if all white foundations do feel like this because I've never used one before. But I found it difficult to create a finish that didn't have some sort of mark on it. So I used it with a flat foundation brush as is recommended on the Superdrug video, but I still nevertheless found that I was getting quite a lot of marks. You know where you see the brush strokes and the brush marks? I'm sure the same would happen with a sponge, to be honest, because of the texture of it. And I did put 2 layers on and I still had the same effect. So it doesn't dry down very well either. I did powder on top with just some normal translucent powder, but it's still very much, if I scratch my face now or if I was to touch my face by accident, I would get a finger mark in it and it would wipe off. So that was a slightly disappointing product for me. I think if I were going to create a foundation, this sort of look for myself, if I was going out, I prefer to use a white foundation or some lightning drops in one of my current foundations, if I'm honest. The next product I used was the gel liquid liner. This I was impressed with. It is so pigmented, really, really dark. I used this with a brush to add the product on my eyes in this sort of shape, and I used the same flat foundation brush that I used for the face paint. Essentially, I washed it off first. It is quite small. It's this one actually. It's this Real Techniques one. So I was able to get some sort of feathery strokes with that, but it's just so pigmented that, you know, there's no way that this stuff is going anywhere once it's on your eyes. I've never used a gel eyeliner before, so I'm quite happy to have this in my collection just to use for other things as well, for normal makeup looks. But yeah, this one I was impressed with. It was easy to put on, it was easy to sort of spread across the areas that I wanted to use it in. It dried down nice and quickly, and once it's there it seems to be sticking. Part of the tutorial that Superdrug gives you is to try and use a cotton bud like this with some micellar water to get rid of some of the pigment in order to create some of these brush strokes, but I couldn't do it. It wasn't coming off with micellar water, so it's obviously long lasting and it sticks around. But as far as it goes for this look, I did find it quite easy to work with, and I'm brand new to gel eyeliner. The next thing I used with this was this quad. I used the black shade to contour down the nose here. I used the grey shade to sort of contour on the face, and I used the white shade on the lower lash line to sort of create almost like a white eyeliner, and I use this grey shade on the lids just to sort of mix it in with the black, not that you can see it because the black is so overpowering. So these are just basic eyeshadows really. I wouldn't say there's anything special about them. They are a little bit chalky. I probably wouldn't use them as a normal eyeshadow, but for a Halloween look, they're absolutely fine. I would say that this is not blending very well, this contour that I've done. I don't think that's the actual shadows. I think it's putting on top of that white face paint. So yeah, once this face paint is on, it's difficult to apply anything else on top of it, if I'm honest. So yeah, these are fine for eyeshadows. Not sure how much I would use them in my normal makeup looks, but if I was ever doing a Halloween look again, then I would definitely reach for those. So the next thing I used was the white liquid liner. So this comes in a little tube, and it's got a little brush in order to apply these sort of feathery strokes there. So with the black eyeliner being so pigmented, I was concerned that this wouldn't show up. However, I was impressed by this. It's pigmented enough so that it does show up. The brush is small enough and delicate enough so that you can get the sort of light strokes that makes it look a lot more feathery rather than just sort of drawing a straight white line on top of the black eyeliner. And it seems to have dried down quite well. Yeah, it's certainly dried down and kept that sort of nice feathery effect, which is the whole point of the look, you know, to make it look quite bird-like. So that product I'm impressed with. I'm not sure if I would have any use for it sort of day to day in other makeup looks, but definitely for sort of fancy dress and Halloween again, I'm going to keep that around. Finally, the liquid lipstick. So this seems to be full size. I don't know if you can buy it separately as part of their sort of individual products. But yeah, it's a liquid lipstick. I found that you had to do a lot of this in order to get the product onto the applicator. It's a doe foot applicator. Whether that just because it's the first time it's been used or not, but even though I've added quite a few layers now, it's still difficult to get a good amount of product up on here. Having said that, as you can see, it is definitely a black liquid lipstick. It's really built up to be quite pigmented, but I did need to use quite a few layers for that. The video that Superdrug do recommend putting the gel eyeliner on underneath in order to get a really, really dramatic black lip. So I could have done that, but I just wanted to see how this lasted on its own. It certainly hasn't dried down an awful lot. It probably would transfer. Yeah, it pretty much transfers with all the white face paint as well. But having said that, even though I have got all that transfer on my hand, it still looks reasonably pigmented on my lips. Let's see how it looks when you add another layer to it if you need to top up. Yeah, it's not bad to top up. I mean, I'm guessing that any kind of black liquid lipstick is going to be difficult to work with. I've never used one before, but it certainly does the job, especially if you're just using it as a Halloween look. So basically, overall, my summary is some of the products are really easy to work with, some are not. I'm not sure that if you are a complete beginner, it would be easy at all to create this look. I don't feel that I've done an amazing job of it whatsoever. I think this is totally average. So I think you do need some sort of skill and definitely good brushes in order to get the look, especially if you want it to look like it does in the box, which mine doesn't. And I'm not convinced that some of these products are professional quality. The Ghost Whitener in particular, that's sort of my least favourite. However, this gel liner that's in the pack, I'm really, really impressed with. So I guess you could say a mixed bag overall, but for £8, if you haven't got anything in your collection already that you can create this kind of look with, and you wanted to go fancy dress, Halloween or otherwise, as the Black Swan, then you can't really complain for £8. Everything's in there. The only additional things that I've used is translucent powder, a mascara, and then the tools, the brushes, in order to put them on. So I think £8 is a really good price. I would say one more word of warning, because this is sort of fancy dress and SFX type makeup, there is quite a lot of ingredients in these that some people might consider as nasties or things that you can tend to be sensitive to. There's a lot of paraffin, there's a lot of parabens in them, but having said that, on the back of the box is all the ingredients, so you can find out exactly what you're buying before you actually buy it, if that makes sense. You don't have to open the products up in order to find out what the ingredients are. So I hope that's been helpful. If you have been considering buying this, or you've seen it on the high street or on websites and thinking, should I get this for Halloween or should I not? Hopefully my review there has been of some help to you. Do let me know if it has been by giving me a thumbs up on the video and write any comments down below that you have. Subscribe, I'm doing videos twice a week at the moment, and I'll see you next time. Bye!